Oh man, you cannot fathom how happy I am to have a proper Ace Combat on my home platform. Seriously, when Namco announced that they were going to release it multi-platform and the PC was going to be on there as well, I was like, yes! Now, before we begin, I have a horrible and dark secret to admit. No, it's not that I'm a progressive Labour supporter or anything horrifying like that. No, it is that my first foray into Ace Combat was Assault Horizon. Now, I know what you're thinking, and stop booing, because all you're doing is just reinforcing the disappointment your parents are already having you. No, it was the only Ace Combat we had on the PC. Okay, now it's one of these series that I never really was a console gamer, so a lot of things missed me. Okay, I didn't get into Armored Core until it was like Armored Core 7. But anyway, Ace Combat is a silly series which could best be described as Metal Gear Solid in the sky. And my first foray into it was Assault Horizon, which is arguably one of the worst in the series. They tried to do something different and it didn't really work. But it was the only one we had to play, and I thought it was absolutely batshit bonkers, and I loved it. And I will admit, I put nearly 200 hours into it. Shut up. So, when I told a mate of mine that, he slapped me quite hard, and he says, "What on earth are you doing, man? Go play the original trilogy," which is Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a hold of 5 and 0, but I did find at my local game shop, which is a little mom-and-pop type store, Ace Combat 4. So I blew the dust off my PS2 and I went flying that night. And despite its technical limitations for the platform at the time, it was thoroughly good fun. Genuinely enjoyed it. And it really did feel like Metal Gear Solid in the sky. So I fell in love with it, and I've been champing at the bit for a proper Ace Combat to land since. And it's been 12 years since Ace Combat 6, which was a shitty 360 exclusive. I don't know why, but anyway. So, yes, anyway, we have proper Ace Combat, and oh, it's good. Holy shit, if you've never played Ace Combat, you are in for a treat. Basically, it's an aerial dogfighting game, which basically throw all the simulator shit out the window. Now, it's not a perfect port. There are a few issues with it which I have. For instance, the biggest which is bugging me is the fact that it doesn't support anything outside of a 16:9 monitor ratio, which is annoying as shit, because I, being a 16:10 user, like 1920x1200 res. And as a result, I've got lovely black bars top and bottom. Now, after a while, it doesn't really bother me, but looking back on some of the vids, I'm like, yeah, that could have been done a bit better. Another thing that a lot of people have been whinging about is the lack of support for HOTAS joysticks. But the funny thing is, I don't understand why they're all going crazy over it, because playing Ace Combat with a HOTAS is like trying to play Mario Kart with a Fanatec. It's just completely unnecessary. The only thing you need to enjoy Ace Combat is a good joypad, a pair of aviators, and a copy of Kenny Loggins' greatest hits. And that's it. The game itself is actually quite large. There's plenty of stuff to do. You've got 20 missions, which should keep you entertained. What? No, I just want to see, fuck it, whatever. 20 missions ranging from everything from simple find bombers and kill them to, let's have a look. You've got to find shit in a dust cloud to chasing shit through canyons and stuff. There's plenty of stuff to do in here. There's also as well in-game achievements which should keep you entertained for a bit. And there's also the aces. Now, hang on a second. Campaign data. Right. When you complete the game, you have aces which will appear. Now, the aces, if you meet the criteria for them, they will appear. You can then find them, hunt them, kill them, and wear their skin, which is hilarious for the family at the funeral and the wake afterwards. Especially helps with mingling in social events and whatnot. But some of them actually look quite nice, and you can wear these skins as you go into combat. The only downside is you've got to complete the game first before the game lets you do that. There's also your bog standard campaign medals in which you can go off and go find and play. Some are standard fare, like find and kill so many things. Others are more crazy, like complete the entire campaign using only machine guns and do the whole line under 4 hours. But that's plenty enough to keep you entertained. There's also multiplayer as well for people who are interested in that kind of stuff, but it's kind of limited. I mean, you're only limited to deathmatch and team deathmatch. That's it. And it's a little bit broken in terms of balancing. And you'll hear a lot of people complaining about dick raptors and QAAM missiles. But it's all good fun. But the real meat and potatoes here is the campaign. And it's lovely. It's truly batshit insane. You know what? No. I'm just going to show you. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to restart story. Yes. Ooh. Yeah, why not? Whatever.
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills, and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. So, I flew up, straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osia's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have put in my event system, you piece of junk. Should have built a return too.
Is everyone here? Settle down. I said settle down. You have all been instrumental in helping to maintain peace in Usea as members of the International Union Peacekeeping Force. Until today. Earlier, our radar site informed us that a group of unidentified aircraft was approaching. Communication systems went down immediately afterwards. We are led to conclude that they have attacked the site. Here's your mission. It's possible that the Yuuzhan ceasefire agreement has been broken for the first time in over a decade. As of today, the Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron of the IUPF has been put on high alert. All members who have been ordered to sortie, fly there immediately. Find the unidentified craft, then use your weapons to round them up and force them to land. If the hostiles counterattack, then you will...
What the hell was that?
There's smoke! We're under attack. Numerous unidentified aircraft confirmed overhead. What? How is that possible?
The tank farm to the north has been bombed.
Many injured.
Scramble! All units, take off and eliminate the unidentified craft attacking the base. This is not a drill.
It may not be a drill, but it's certainly an award-winning dialogue. Good God, it's terrible, isn't it? But that's part of Ace Combat's appeal. The translation's always been a bit cheesy, and it just kind of fits. If you were wondering, what the fuck, I don't even recognise half these countries, like the Kingdom of Rusia and so on. The world of Ace Combat is fictitious. It is one that has been developed over 20 years and has been lovingly referred to as strange real, because it is strange and yet it still uses things like real planes and vehicles. Now, over the years though, the guys who built Ace Combat, Project Aces, have taken this term on board, and so the world is now actually referred to as strange real. Now, Ace Combat 7 picks up something from Ace Combat Infinity, which was a free-to-play Ace Combat game on the PS3 back when it was still running, and it has an aircraft tree. Now the idea is the aircraft tree is you can then go off and acquire military resource points, or MRP, which you can then spend on upgrades. Everything from new fighters to weapon-specific additions to extra armor to stealth, so on and so forth. Every plane has 3 additional super weapons as well, special weapons, which you can equip one of when you go into combat, and obviously you'll need to spend MRP to unlock those as well. There's an entire multiplayer tree as well for parts which you can then take into combat, and they are significantly more expensive. The idea is you're supposed to keep on playing multiplayer until you eventually unlock everything. And it does get quite silly. There's loads of things to unlock and keep you entertained here. You can modify your planes, obviously, before you go into combat to change their characteristics or weapon systems or so on and so forth. And in fact, I'll kind of show a little of that here. There's quite a roster of planes you can take into combat, everything from multi-role to fighters to bombers. Unfortunately, the bombers are kind of limited in scope, but it is quite fun trying to dogfight a couple of F-22s and an A-10. Yeah, I have done it and somewhat succeeded. I do like to use the F-22. A lot of people like the F-22 because it's absolutely bonkers. I shall take the Quam. It's Quam! There you go. Now, when you come to fit your plane... Sorry. I've had this cough now for the past 3 weeks. Oh. I do have cough mixture for it, but if I was to hypothesize as to what a dog's dick tastes like, that's probably about as close as it's going to get. So I'm not going to chug any of that, because I'll just spend the next 20 minutes gagging. Right, so as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the mortalities of the human body. The plane has 3 segments you can upgrade: body, arms, and miscellaneous. Now, obviously, you can only stick so much in there, because you can't... Well, it's not going to be funny having a plane and then bolting it with nothing but missile attachments. So there's only so much you can stick in there. As you can see, I'm kind of running to the limit on the weapons mods. I've got a few in the body and 1 in the miscellaneous, and it shows you right at the end as to what you've got in there. I've got stuff for maneuverability, something which increases engine, which is kind of like a special one off the campaign, from better weapon handling to a machine gun radar lock-on, which gives it a little bit of auto-aim. Not much, right? And even then it takes practice to use, but it helps in killing stuff. Right, anyway, enough of this. You want to see folks... Oh, hang on, I want to change my emblem. Emblems are things that you earn through accomplishing feats in game, as well as fucking shit up in multiplayer. Do I want to take... Let's go Soul Squadron. I don't like them on the wing.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete. Stand by at the front.
Good God, 15 minutes, I've not killed anything yet. What's going on?
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron.
Oh, it does look pretty.
Trigger, your call sign is Mage 2. Verify and read back. Mage 2, clear for takeoff. Your situation is tight. It's a hell of a welcoming party, but we have faith in you. Good luck.
Control, do me a favor and get that bird in the air ASAP.
Mage 2, altitude restriction is lifted. Good luck.
The carrier. Whoa, looks like the harbor's taken a lot of damage.
Can't have any more casualties. Time to stop the bullshit.
I just realised I've got the wrong
Mage 2,
special weapon.
roll
Never
up
mind.
with Mage 1. All aircraft, let's do this.
Make it work.
Column Squadron, it's go time.
Roger that.
Going for understood.
They have done some beautiful things with the environment, but I'll explain that afterwards because there's so much radio chatter. I don't like talking over it.
Unidentified bombers. They don't have many escorts. They hit our radars hard in the last attack. Expect the worst and stay sharp.
Wilco. Trigger, I'm your wingman. Fly with me now. That's what it means to be in an element.
Enemy bomber confirmed down. Good job, Mage 2.
Not bad, Mage 2. Trigger, switch your radar. See if you can locate the enemy.
Yeah, why not? I'll place them both.
Breaking out of block. We got a friendly.
Enemy support eliminated. This should make the job easier. Destroy the
There
target.
you go.
Target confirmed down. Looking good, Mage 2. Mage 2, target's in range. Pair of bombers.
Trigger, stay calm. You got this. I know the kid's shown some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely gotten his feet wet. Trigger, don't forget your special weapon.
Dear. Here's what I wish I had something a bit better, but never mind.
You'll knock him out with your special weapon. Use it when you need to.
Come on, son.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Resistance is futile.
Heavy, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece. Skykeeper, this is Mage 1, over. Tally 2 bandits.
Copy that. It's a bomber and an escort.
Oh, there, Trigger, settle down. Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off. Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Wilco. Column 2, maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Target is down.
Attaboy, Trigger.
Column, Mage, 2 new enemy groups.
If you hadn't sussed it by now, the soundtrack is garbage.
Attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify. Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass. UAVs. I can't tell them apart.
I'm cornered. Harbor facilities and carriers to
Oh, hello.
We've still got half our baggage. Emptying of our hangars and runways.
Watch out. The enemy has a lock on you.
What the fuck? What is wrong with me today? Can't hit a fucking barn door. Come on, son. There you go. Touch it inappropriately.
Where the hell are our fighters? The harbor's under heavy fire.
Mage 2's bandit confirmed down.
They could burn with their whole payload. Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between life and death. Stay sharp, think fast.
Roger that.
Oh, this is embarrassingly poor performance on my part.
In gun range. Well done. All bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
Good going, Mage 2. Flight Commander looks like he's got what it takes. Let's slow down. It's just one sortie. Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Column Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones?
What's the deal with all the drones?
Column 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
I am Princess Rosa Cassette of the Kingdom of Erusia.
Stall warning.
Citizens of Erusia.
And at the end of it all, you can wonderfully fly around and kill everything. Now, I didn't get a chance to talk too much about that because there's so much radio chatter, but the environments in this are really quite very well thought out. Normally when you play an aerial dogfighting game, basically the sky is just open sky, there's not really much that can interfere with you. However, they've gone to town here with the clouds and the visuals. The clouds especially do add an element of extra gameplay to it, in that if you fly into a clouds, it will interfere with radar, both for you and the enemy. It will interfere with weapon tracking as well. Also as well, you've got crosswind, so wind can actually catch you and buffet your plane to one side. And that is quite apparent in one mission towards, well, Mission 7, which will grind a lot of teeth, I know. You've also got lightning storms as well, and if you're caught by lightning, it fries all your HUD, and obviously screws with all of your ability to track stuff, and it takes about a minute to clear up. So you are essentially flying around blind through the middle of a lightning storm, which is always good fun. But yeah, it's so much fun to fly. You know what? No, more death is needed. Kill more stuff.
We are currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk. We know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Yusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
Oh, truly award-winning dialogue. At the end of it, obviously, you then get a result screen, and depending on how well you are, it depends on what rank you'll get. From C to crap to S for shit hot. How I got S on that, I don't know, but whatever.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Yusia, has been seized by the Erusian army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Yusia, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Yusian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusea, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusea went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusea didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Louise of the Kingdom of Erusea. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusea, on the opposite side of the Usean continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Usian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Usia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Yeah, there's two concurrent storylines running through this. You've got the stuff that plays out obviously through the CGI, and then you've got the stuff that plays out through the actual missions themselves and the briefings. Now, there's only one thing I don't like about Ace Combat's storylines, I've never enjoyed this, is that a lot of the storyline plays out as well through radio chatter, which is annoying as fuck because you're in the middle of a dogfight at the time and your mind is elsewhere and trying not to die. So you find yourself missing bits and pieces of it as you play. Obviously, it's a good excuse then for repeated playthroughs, but to be honest, at times I kind of wish that... it's a personal thing. I prefer it a little bit more straightforward than that. And to be honest, I did find myself recording a couple of missions just to play back and watch through all the radio chatter. But that's just me. Right, let's get my race face on. Yeah, take the F-22 again. Just leave it as it is. Yeah, it's all built up. Go.
Mage Squadron, sortie, ASAP.
God. Fucking human body's frail and shit. No, I'm still not drinking any of that stuff.
Current target is on rails. There's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But, any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days.
Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close.
Yep.
Understood! Fire the AA! Pull your vehicle out of there!
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Request permission to move the vehicle! We can't wait any longer. We need interceptors now!
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound. Prepare to engage in 30 seconds.
Wilco, here they come. Take them down.
Let's get busy.
Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
That was the last radar vehicle. Great work.
Pods don't just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Clear ground.
Enemy will crash in a residential area.
Just worry about staying alive for now.
Oh, it's a missile. Consider me unimpressed. Fucking hell.
Huh? Keep your mind focused. Ship operations complete. All submarine. Whenever you're ready. Dead clear, 15 meters. UAVs ready to launch. Away!
Lovely, more
What
things to
happened?
kill.
Status report.
Multiple bogies on radar. They're close.
Wait, they're being launched.
You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile.
Judging by the way they look, they've gotta be drones. Well spotted, clown. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is Column 1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones.
Column 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out.
Doesn't matter. He's saying the war can change in an instant. Get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning. Enemy UAV confirmed destroyed. Hell yeah. Column Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are you?
3 enemies to go.
Column 2, the enemy's reading you.
He's gonna pop out eventually. When he does, I will fuck him. Come on, come on, come on. I'm icing up, hurry up.
Mage 2, gotcha.
The enemy knows a few moves, but that's about it. Just chase them down and pull the trigger. Am I stuff? I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good.
No, Superman does good, I'm doing well.
Casualties.
Behind one.
Don't ice up in there.
Where's that fucking going?
Aircraft is icing up. I'm getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds. The ice will melt.
That was truly terrible on my
Nice
part.
kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
The skies are clear. Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB.
No casualties. We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
6% damage. Shit. Caught that explosion a little too close, but never mind. Everyone died, and that's all that matters. Next! I want to try and get through at least 4 missions, because that's kind of like an integral part of the chapter, the story chapter.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
The game is pretty much broken up into 3 distinct chapters, and your aircraft visually changes according to which chapter you're up, unless of course you're using custom skins. So sometimes the camera will pan and focus on the tail of your plane, which you're obviously not going to see if you're running a custom skin. But anyway, whatever. Another S rank. Whoopee. Next! Thankfully, not another cutscene. Haha!
The surprise attacks carried out after the declaration of war saw the peacekeeping forces of various countries, including Osea, suffer major damage. The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier Kestrel II was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel II is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, MQ-101. The Osean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal Birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of the space elevator ASAP. Good luck out there.
Operation Dual Wielder. Here we're going to have buffeting wind as well, so we are going to be getting blown around a little, which is quite nice. It does make things more interesting, and it's quite fun when you get caught up with it, because you're trying to wrestle control of the craft and shoot shit down at the same time. It's good fun. I'm a masochist. Shut up. Dick Raptor. We'll take the Qualms again.
Mage Squadron, aircraft preparations complete.
Bloody frail body.
Refueling initiated. Maintain your current position.
Forgot to mention these.
100.
Yeah, these are optional. You can skip them if you're crap. They are fraud simple.
50 meters. Excellent work, Trigger.
Takeoffs, mid-air refuelings, and landings. However, you can skip them if you're rubbish, or just don't want to do them. There is a point bonus at the end, though, for them, so it's up to you if you want. Right, game face time.
Mage Squadron, this is the situation. Gollum and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action. Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up.
Oh, there's that wind.
Mage 1, Wilco. Mage 1 to Gollum 1, thank your lucky stars. Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure. Trigger, time to show the other guys that you can wild and dirty things. Once you hit one of them, stick to him like glue. Don't let him out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins.
What was that?
If you can't evade a missile, use Chapman flares. Your fingers should still move, even if you're in a 19 turn.
4 remaining.
Yep.
We're getting our ass kicked. They got me. Clouds are 3 remaining. Your seat. Acquired lock on bandit. Firing. Lock on hostile. Breaking. Nice kill.
1 remaining. Locked. Our radar shows no sign of bandits. You're in the clear.
I haven't even broken a sweat.
Seems to be crazy to pick a fight with us. A rabid dog would know better.
Missile incoming! Evade! Break!
What the hell?
Caution! Missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert. just learned that Eruzia is utilizing the arsenal bird. Those bastards. They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Enemy has a radar lock.
Come on, you fuckers.
Just wait for mission command.
Break, now!
I'll live through this, Trigger. These guys are definitely a step above the last drones. These guys will move down easy.
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the arsenal bird.
Gold Squadron, take out Big Baby Huey.
These bandits are fast as hell.
Damn. Skeleton 1 lost. Skeleton 2, take over command.
Gargoyle Squadron, this is Gargoyle 1. Skeleton Squadron needs help. The hell are we supposed to do?
Status?
Gotta find the situation.
Column 2, missile, evade!
Evading!
I should have done this on Ace. I can't chat and play at the same time. Christ.
Status
Not that talented. Come on.
Ship Column 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Skeleton 3, break! Break! Missile!
Get your head out of your ass. Stop arguing with the damn drone.
We lost another friendly!
Skeleton 3's lost.
Come on, come on.
What's the plan?
Where's that report?
Continue to maintain air superiority.
HQ, what's happening?
Skykeeper, I repeat, maintain air superiority. How'd that happen?
Easier said than done.
What the hell? Caution. All aircraft, stay alert.
Get out of there!
Breaking!
Control ground. I'm breaking off!
Skeleton 2 lost.
We've got incoming!
Skeleton Squadron is down. We've had too many losses. All squadrons, command is ordered to complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
Brilliant observation. They knew it earlier, or I would have survived the terrain.
Save your chatter for the debrief. Golem and Mage Squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
Wilco, but Column 2's hit. Gotta send her back. Let's get dirty, Trigger.
Shoot down those UAVs. Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Column 2, head back to base.
Gargoyle 1, escort Golem 2.
Continuing the mission. Still got my wings.
Come on. Come on.
Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Copy that. Returning home.
That's it, Trigger. They're machines. Don't show them any mercy.
One of the things I've always liked about aerial dogfights is you play it in your mind as much as you play it with your eyes.
Mage 2, UAV down. Retreating aircraft. Leave the AO. Allies will not pursue.
Yeah.
Mage Squadron, hang in there and come back safe.
I got you. Copyright, bitch. Yeah.
Flares launched.
Yowza.
Mage Squadron, you're going toe-to-toe.
Come on, you fuckers.
More UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
My status is fine. Affirmative. This is Gargoyle 1. Leading Operation Airspace with Column 2.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Golem 2, engage now. Attack.
What's that? Distance 30.
Gargoyle 1. Caution! Missile!
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Skykeeper. Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Golem 2, status report. Just talk to me.
Come on. You fidgety little fuck.
I'm against an SU-30. Marty! Large wingtips. I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run!
Right underneath it. Come on. Gotcha.
Mage 2, UAV down. Keep it up, buddy.
Christ. You people are so utterly useless.
I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire? I'm scared.
This is not good. Brody, break off. Fox 2! Fox 2!
Locked.
Flashed! That's it, baby. Come to Poppy. Well, good job, H2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm grateful you're around.
Golem 2, what's your status? Status report.
He's a predator. The weak get eaten.
Golem 2, get a hold of yourself. Golem 2, get away from the enemy.
Get wind.
Mage 2, support!
Working on it. Working on it.
Golem 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got brownie?
Afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry.
Come on.
Get your asses out.
Get those UAVs off of friends. You're targeted.
Chapter hot and we just might make it out. Don't look back, just have faith. Call in the names, we owe you a debt.
Going for the loner.
All UAVs have been splashed.
I said what I had to say. About what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Mage Squadron, withdraw.
Yeah, sorry, I would be more chatty, but I really shouldn't have stuck it on Ace because they will fuck your shit up if you haven't got your game face on. Evil bird.
Page 2, we have you on radar. You are
Oh, do I want to do a landing or not? I'd like to get mission 4 done at
runway
least.
clear. Page 2, you are cleared for landing.
Fine, we'll do it at Mark 1.
3,000 to runway.
Braking.
1,500 to runway.
That's the end of the runway. Yeah, I might have done that a little fast.
Perfect, Page 2. I knew you'd be back. Stand by for further orders. Be ready for your next sortie.
Yeah. Do you want to
Mage
replay?
Squadron,
Not
this is the
really.
situation.
It is nice though to watch them just kill everything though.
Unfortunately, the two-front offensive was a failure. The aircraft carrier Kestrel II was sunk during the attack on Farbanti. Carrier-borne aircraft mistakenly bombed urban areas, and this has turned public opinion in neutral countries against us. Our own forces also suffered heavy losses. If it weren't for a few extraordinary fighters, many of us wouldn't have made it home. The situation is grim. We have precious little time, however. We have to get to the space elevator.
It is quite nice to see the end animation, which actually replays all the dogfighting you've done throughout the entire mission, so you can kind of see how well you did. It's a cool little replay function. You can, of course, turn it all off and just watch it. Yes, there's a lot of things there. And it just gets more and more. Right, enough. S rank, as expected. Go. One more and we'll call it.
Here he comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many G's he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing the stretch for life. I can't forget the rats. Yeah, we got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Erusia's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Erusia lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? 'Cause someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osia, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osia was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osia down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Erusia, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that.
As proved by the failure of our previous strategy, the Arsenal birds have bolstered the enemy's anti-air network. This will be difficult to overcome. However, we still need to get swiftly to the space elevator no matter what it takes. Someone there is counting on us. The hero of the Circum-Pacific War and the man who spearheaded the construction of the space elevator. Osia's former president, Mr. Harling. Mr. Harling was inspecting the elevator when the war broke out. He's been classified as missing since the elevator was taken over by the Erusian forces. However, according to the latest intel, a military officer accompanying Mr. Harling hid him inside the facility. Both are waiting for a chance to escape. Enemy anti-air radar network has been set up around the space elevator. It's likely a large squadron would be detected. We will send a single aircraft through the network and send in a rescue team soon after. A number of anti-air radars have been set up around the space elevator. However, our reconnaissance suggests their network is weakest along the southeastern coast of Selatapura, so we can elude the enemy's observation. There are a lot of rain clouds this time of year. Flying through the clouds will enable us to stay hidden from their radar. If you happen to be detected by their radar, we will be forced to abort the mission. The lone pilot will head up this strategy as you, Trigger. After you bust through, secure the rescue craft's landing zone by taking out the anti-air weapons. Gollum and others will arrive shortly for support. Provide escort for Mr. Harling's craft after rendezvous. Good luck out there, everyone.
Ooh, lots of fun here. Right, I know it's getting on a bit. I've hit the hour mark, and normally I usually stop around this point when introducing people to new games. But I want to do one more mission, and so you know what? I'm going to, because haha, I'm in control here. Right, I am going to make a change to the plane though, because we're not going to take Quams. It's Quam! We're going to take the XSDBs, mini bomb type thingies. So, hang on, I want to make a few changes. Right. Let's remove those. I'm not using missiles. I will, however, additional hardpoint expansion. No, not hardpoint expansion. High output bomb GPS for faster lock on time. And I will take... I've got the space, so I'm going to take something for a little bit faster for missiles. There you go. So I've got faster tracking missiles now. And I'm going to change my emblem because I've just realised I am using Sol Squadron. There you go. Yeah, I'm not Yellow 13, but it's good enough.
Aircraft preparations complete. Sortie ASAP.
Entering operation area. Imposing radio silence. We'll radio you, but you are not permitted to make contact.
If you're spotted, the mission is over. Stay out of enemy radar. Use of weaponry is also strictly forbidden. Okay, you're heading up the Harling rescue mission. The success of this mission depends on you. Good luck.
This is easier than it looks.
Trigger, you're a third of the way to the rendezvous point. Good job, but stay focused. Trigger, you got two directions you can take up here. Just go with your gut. Don't worry, we're watching over you. Progress, Trigger. We're currently halfway to your rendezvous point. Look, I'm not gonna lie. It's just gonna be you and your radar out there. Just know, you got a bunch of people pulling for you. And I'm one of them. You're 3/4 of the way. Been a long fight, but you're nearly home. Harling is still the president in my eyes. He ended the war, built the space elevator, and launched a spaceship from it. Despite his success, he remained a humble hero.
We have bandits.
violent and trying your best to save him. Lend me a hand, Trigger. Trigger, the first stage of the mission is clear. Don't celebrate yet. The real fight's about to get started. Radio silence is now lifted. The auxiliary craft will be arriving shortly. Destroy the anti-air around the space elevator. We're securing Sea Goblin's landing zone. Mage 2, target destroyed. Mage 2, locked. Mage 2, target down. Half of the anti-air guns down.
They really don't fucking like me here.
Bombs away. Fox 2. Half of the SAM sites are down.
Oh, I have a needle.
SAM sites down. There are still AA guns. Destroy them and secure the LZ.
Trigger, sorry about the wait. Cavalry's here. Column Squadron. Trigger jumped through the fire. Now it's our turn. Understood.
Gargoyle Squadron, stay focused. You all know your job.
All aircraft, eliminate the enemy before they can respond. All anti-air guns destroyed. The landing zone is secure. Sea Goblin, you are cleared to land.
Roger. Rendezvous point in sight. We're almost there.
Multiple bandits over Selatapura Harbor. They're container-launched UAVs.
Let's go get them.
Rescue craft tagged on. Initiate.
Rescue craft on the ground is defenseless. Gollum and Mage, destroy all hostiles.
It's been a long journey, but you're on the home stretch.
Gargoyle will stand by near the space elevator.
Sea Goblin, heading over to the express location now. Run for the container!
Mage 2, locked. Vehicle down.
Yeah, Mage 2 destroyed the target.
Target destroyed.
Ambush! Fire from the far shore! They're targeting us! Get behind the chopper!
Eliminate all enemy UAVs. Don't let up.
Come on, come on.
Return fire! Sierra 2, hold position! We're cut off!
UAV down. That's about half. Mop up the rest.
Whoa! Look at this guy.
Taking fire! We're pinned down! Shoot back!
Can't flare guns though.
2, hang in there.
Express identified! Behind the gantry crane! Mr. Harlan, stay right there! Jacob's been hit! Incoming rocket!
Sea Goblin, all survivors, respond. Is Mr. Harling alive?
We'll pass that with caution before the enemy wears out.
They got the chopper and Sierra too! That was so barbaric!
Trying to pull the missile.
Rocket!
I got it.
Damn. 3 remaining.
This is Colonel Johnson. Do you copy? I am with President Harling. Rescue unit down. Along with the soldier who had this radio. I'll get Mr. Harling out of here.
Sir, we feel the same way. We'll figure something out.
Strap in. We're fighting against the machine.
1 remaining.
We found an Erusian transport craft. Its engines are on.
I heard you were in the Air Force, Colonel. Can you fly?
Better than Mr. Harling.
Oh, I don't need to deploy your bloody drone.
All squadrons be advised. The call sign is Mother Goose 1. I've sent the information via the data link.
I'm out of missile. Mother Goose 1? That's the best you can call it.
Target is destroyed.
All UAVs have been splashed. All aircraft. Former President Harling's transport is ready to take off.
You can change the
Mother Goose
camera.
1, take off.
Alright.
change the camera by holding down the fire button or the camera targeting button. So you can actually have it track targets as you fly around and try and change your orientation. Me, I hardly ever use it, to be honest, except for looking like a bit of a badass.
5 minutes remaining.
Come on.
Skykeeper, bogey's on my radar. Bearing 220.
Sighting confirmed as MQ-101, forerunner for Arsenal Bird.
The big bird is coming, huh?
Mage, protect Mother Goose 1. Shoot down any UAVs. Gollum, intercept the UAVs.
Golem 1 will kill. That last battle taught me a lot about those a-holes. Golem 2, don't stray off on me. Always maintain element. Wilco, forming up.
Hello, son. What are you doing? Oh, come the fuck on. Shit.
Mother Goose 1, UAV on your tail. Take evasive action.
I hear you. This isn't exactly a point.
Enemy UAV down. Great job, Trigger.
Understood. An Arsenal bird is on its way. Strategic AI chose liberty over justice. Courses have already changed.
That ship isn't one of ours. Gargoyle, change radio frequency. Gargoyle, it's time. Attention, Gargoyle Squadron, Babel.
Gargoyle 3 to Babel.
Double roger. Skykeeper, what the hell was that?
Gargoyle did their job.
I figured, but why weren't we informed?
The IUN can't coordinate between branches as usual.
It didn't connect.
Gargoyle Squadron, report. HQ, one hit was scored. The rest were intercepted by UAVs. The elevator's windbreak took a scratch. Nothing more.
Roger. Continue to maintain air superiority.
Bandit is in my sights.
Mother Goose 1 hit.
Mother Goose 1 has been hit. Colonel Johnson, respond. Mage Squadron, assess the situation.
This is Mage 1. I have Mother Goose 1 in my sight. Cabin's fine, but the cockpit's not looking so good.
Colonel Johnson, are you okay?
Don't worry about that. Just send help this way. I'm sorry. Get Mr. Harmon. Please.
Mother Goose 1, respond. Mother Goose 1.
Skykeeper, should we continue providing cover for Mother Goose 1?
Of course.
Radar lock fired.
Mother Goose 1 is turning. What's going on? They're heading to the space elevator.
It's flying at a steady altitude. Who's in control?
It's not the Colonel. Mr. Harling's the only one on board. Mother Goose 1, respond. Mr. Harling, please respond.
We can't protect our objective if it sticks around here. Now's not the time to freak out, fellas. We've still got a job to do, so let's do it. Keep your mind focused.
Mr. Harling, we are not giving up on you. UAVs are approaching Mother Goose 1.
Let's go, Trigger.
Take him down now, Mage Squadron. 1 minute remaining. Locked. Mother Goose 1, turn 180 degrees and exit combat airspace.
Make two.
Oh my god. Mother Goose 1 has been shot down.
Where'd the missile come from?
Mage 2 fired that.
It was Ocean. A friendly missile hit him.
Verifying the situation. Stop speculating.
Friendly fire. I saw it.
Mother Goose 1 exploded in air. No one could have survived.
Looks like it tried to protect the elevator. Erusian bastards, they just killed a hero.
Mage 1. Was it Trigger? Trigger was the closest. UAVs were crawling all over our objective. I told you to keep a goddamn eye on the hatchling. It must have been a mistake.
Arsenal bird is entering. All aircraft withdraw immediately. Trigger, you can't fly for a while. You understand why?
Yeah. Friendly fire isn't.
The operation to rescue former President Harling has failed. Sadly, there is no hope he survived. Trigger, you are suspected of assassinating the former president. There will be an inquiry. There will most probably be a court-martial.
Oh no! You can kind of see where this is going, can't you? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because, God almighty, have I been rambling on that long? Oh, I've hardly rambled at all, have I? Because, well, some idiot of mine, I decided I'd be a retard and stick it on the hardest difficulty setting, and then, oh dear God, I can't focus on chatting and killing things at the same time. Never mind. Anyway, Ace Combat 7 is fucking glorious. Oh, it is so, so good. And it just gets better and better and more batshit. Yeah, a couple of minor quirks with it, but overall, thoroughly enjoyed it. And I shall continue to enjoy it, hopefully, until Ace Combat 8 is released. And hopefully we haven't got to wait 12 bloody years for it. And then, even then, I'm hoping we'll get another PC release for that as well. Which will be absolutely stupendously good. Now then, what score did I get? A? Must have been a points bonus more than anything. That disappoints me. Only an A ranking. Yeah, I only killed 12 drones, so, yeah. Never mind. Anyway, enough of this. I'm going to go render this and go make some breakfast. I'm starving. Oh, God, and then I'll do some Anna recording because I haven't done any of that in a while. Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wanting me to finish off the Ignis series. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Right, I'm out of here. I shall catch you all whenever.